Thanks for tuning in Summary MMA. In this video, Dana White addresses Conor McGregor's USADA status and UFC ending ban on flags. Bobby Green says he is in sniper range of UFC title now and wants to be the busiest guy in the division fighting Hooker in December. Scott Coker addresses potential Bellator sale and great night of fights for Bellator 300. Dana White provided an update on the promotion's biggest star in the post-fight press conference. Specifically, McGregor's status with USADA after the fighter announced that he was set to re-enter the testing pool and that ball is rolling on a long-awaited return to competition. White clarified that McGregor isn't quite back to being tested, but that the process should resume soon.
Conor McGregor also announced that he's in the USADA testing pool. Is that your understanding as well, or do you know if that's official?
No, he is not officially in the USADA pool. He submitted the paperwork. Probably by Monday, he'll be submitted.
And we're all kind of speculating.
Again, don't hold me to that,
Right,
but
that'd be
the
the
paperwork is submitted next week sometime.
Yeah, we're all kind of guessing. 6 months, that sure looks to line up real nice with UFC 300. If you just do the math, does that appeal to you to have him maybe at UFC 300?
I literally have nothing planned with Conor McGregor right now. The paperwork is being submitted. We'll play it by ear, see how things work out. There's still a lot of things that have to happen as far as fights go, and then we'll decide where he's going to land.
Okay.
McGregor has not fought since breaking his leg in a loss against Dustin Poirier at UFC 264 in July 2021. Dana White also confirmed the UFC has ended its ban on fighters bringing flags into the octagon after the promotion stopped allowing fighters to carry flags on broadcasts on the heels of the ongoing Russia-Ukraine war. White was asked about the situation at the post-fight press conference and said the recent Noche UFC event was a turning point for him to overrule the policy.
Fighters were allowed to walk out with flags, have their flags in the octagon. Can you just talk about the decision to bring them back?
Yeah, flags are back. Yeah. I was on vacation during the Mexican Independence Day, and the no flag thing drove me crazy. And I was like, yeah, fuck that, we're bringing flags back. Nah, it drove me crazy.
Is there, obviously, is there any, the reason why you took the flags away in the first place, with Russia, Ukraine, is there, can the Russians walk out with the flag this time?
Yeah, there's a lot of things that go on in a company this big. You can't micromanage everything, and sometimes things are done for the intentions of the right reasons and whatever. Everybody in this room knows the way that I feel about a lot of things. Basically, I don't give a fuck is the answer to most things. Everybody's too soft. Everybody's too sensitive about everything. And when the decision was made to do this, I was just kind of like, what's the big deal if they don't have, and Mexican Independence Day flipped the switch for me, and I was like, that's enough. I'm done with the no flags. So flags are back. If any flags hurt your feelings, too fucking bad.
Dana White also confirmed Mateusz Gamrot will serve as the main event backup fighter for Islam Makhachev versus Charles Oliveira at UFC 294 in Abu Dhabi.
Just a couple things outside of tonight. Mateusz Gamrot, he announced that he's the backup for Islam and Charles in Abu Dhabi. Can you confirm that he will be the backup fighter?
He announced that? How did he announce it?
It's an interview in Poland, I believe, that was translated that he said in an interview that he was going to be the backup for that.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I said, yeah, it's true. Yeah.
Okay.
Bobby Green only needed 33 seconds to knock out Division number 10 ranked Grant Dawson in the main event of UFC Las Vegas 80. With the win, Green most likely will have a number next to his name now in the top 10 ranking of the lightweight division. While he admits he has never been motivated by chasing the UFC belt, King believes it's within reach if that's how the promotion wants to push him.
Last thing for me, DC kind of touched on, but if this week comes out and you do have a number next to your name, does that change anything in terms of your career trajectory or what you want to accomplish?
No, not at all, not at all. It'd just be cool to ever say I'm in the top 10. That's cool, but people always well, what are you ranked? What are you ranked? I don't care, brother. I don't know. You tell me.
Ultimately, as far what is next for Green, he says he will travel in whichever direction the UFC points him to, as long as he can be the most active fighter in the division.
In the moment afterwards, you know, the adrenaline's there, you kind of said, hey, I'd like to fight in December. Dana was here earlier, and I said, hey, is that card full? Or like after a performance like that, can you make room? He was like, we can always make some room for something like that. So now that you've maybe settled down a little bit, is that still appealing to you? And are there names maybe that you think would make sense in that role?
My coach has been putting names in my ear. They said Hooker. They want me to fight Hooker. I'm like, okay, you know, if there's Hookers down, I'm down. I'm down to even headline the prelims. I know that the cards got so stacked up. I just got to go check out my hand a little bit. I start slamming a little hammer fist. Ever since Tony, when I was smashing Tony's head, I kind of messed it up a little bit that one, and then I'll kind of like, I'll get through it. I'll just get through it. I'll just tough it out. I just keep toughing this stuff out. But I'm like, now I felt it some more when I started hammer fisting him. I'm like, oh, geez, maybe I fucked something up. So get an x-ray, and then I'll know from there. But if I'm good, I want to fight in December. I want to be able to be the most active fighter this year.
We over here. And I know you just mentioned Dan Hooker, but Renato Moicano wasted no time in putting his Twitter fingers to use. I mean,
tell that guy suck it, you know? Tell that guy suck it. He wanted to fight. It's like he wants the big money, and he's like, hey, I want to fight. But then like when I saw him, I'm like, what's up? But then it's like, oh, well, not that time. Well, you did. Like, it's just a bunch of, you gotta figure that shit out. Go figure that out, bro. You know, be honest, I just put whoever they put in front of me. If they put Renato, he'll get his ass slept too.
All right, and second UFC main event, this time not on 10 days notice. How did this whole week compare to the first one?
It's been an amazing week. I brought all my dogs out for the dogs, you know, to have all my coaches here that mean something to me. I told them, I was just sitting at dinner, I'm like, it don't even matter about the fight. The fact that we at the round table right now, we having a meal together, we fellowshipping, and I get to look each one of you in the eye and tell you, I'm so honored to be a part of your lives and have a moment with y'all like this. That was more important than the actual fight.
And I know you've made your aspirations clear in this game, and you've never really been the guy to like talk too much about the belt, but say you do get like a Dan Hooker and you maybe do get the win, at what point do you like flip the switch if you do get closer to like the title run?
Flip the switch? What do you mean by flip the switch?
Like with the mentality towards the belt? Or...
I even said it during this stuff. I'm like, hey, I'm in sniper range. Don't think I can't go get that title. I can go get the title. I'm just a fun kid who's like, hey, I'm just happy-go-lucky, you know? I'm here, I'm there. Hey, surprise, I'm here, you know? It's just like, I just pop up whenever they put me. The UFC guys are the story writers. Sean Shelby, Dana White, they're writing the story. Whoever they put is how the story gets written, you know? And so you talk to them and you tell them, and we'll figure it out, you know? If they want to put me towards the title, that's awesome. I'm in sniper range now. It's getting real close.
Green ended receiving an extra $50,000 for his performance. 3 other fighters also took home an extra $50,000. Here are the other performance of the night bonuses. Flyweight Nate Maness snapped a 2-fight losing streak with a dominant TKO stoppage over Brazilian prospect Matheus Mendonça. Joe Pyfer pushed his UFC middleweight record to 3-0 with a massive submission finish over Abdul Razak Al Hassan. Lightweight veteran Drew Dober earned another knockout win with a first-round TKO over gladiator Ricky Glenn. Rumors about Viacom looking to sell Bellator began as whispers earlier this year, but grew to be a lack of agreement in the lead-up to Bellator 300 event on Saturday night in San Diego. After the event, Coker admitted there's a lot of uncertainty and a lot of unknowns right now in regards to Bellator's future, but he hopes to get some clarity soon.
Congrats on huge event, getting this far. Now, I do want to talk about all the fights. But you did make a promise the other day that maybe you could give us some information about everybody that's been back here. Everybody's been asking them, what do you make about the future of the promotion? What's going on? Where's your home going to be next year? Can you give us anything at all?
Yeah, as you guys know, I mean, listen, 2 weeks ago it was like, oh, this thing's going down in a week. A month ago it was, this thing's been going back and forth for how long? For the last 6 months. And so, to me, I don't want to really engage in any speculation or see where where the future goes as far as, is the deal going to happen? Is it not going to happen? I mean, these things take time, and until the time gets, solidified, to me, it's just speculation. So I can't engage in that because it's really unfair, I think, to the promotion, the 300th event, We had some great fights tonight. We've been doing some great fights over the last, let's say 8-9 years. And this company has grown so much. I mean, tonight's a celebration. So, as far as from 2 days ago till today, I honestly don't have an update. It's basically the same. So I'd be making something up just to make you happy, but really it's the same situation it was 2 days ago. So, hopefully there'll be some clarity soon, and we'll find out what's going on.
I mean, I think you can understand why everybody wants to know. I think it's because, frankly, people are probably rooting for you guys to stick around.
Yeah, I mean, listen.
I think people feel like it's better with a few more people in the space.
Yeah, but keep in mind, guys, I don't own Bellator. Bellator is not my company to own or to sell, to keep, to merge. It's owned by Viacom, and they have a process that they do, and they're doing what they need to do. But it's not something that I own to sell or not sell. So that's the truth.
You have, last one on this, you have been through it before, though. So I guess I wonder, when this talk started picking back up, are you like, oh man, I just did this 12 years ago, I got to go through and deal with this again? Because I'm sure that wasn't maybe the most fun period of your life, having to watch Strikeforce go away and then just kind of,
Yep.
And
you know what? But the difference is I own Strikeforce, right? This is something that I don't own, so it's hard for me to really comment on that because it's completely different. Now, there are some, feelings that feel the same, but at the end of the day, it's not my company.
All three Bellator 300 champions who fought that night left the same way, including Usman Nurmagomedov in the main event, barely breaking a sweat to win a decision over Brent Primus. Primus was a massive underdog in this fight, but the fighter was able to hang with the Bellator champion for 5 rounds. Now, the 25-year-old champion faces the winner of the Bellator 301 matchup between Alexander Shabaley and Patricky Pitbull in the lightweight Grand Prix finale for the $1 million prize. A grudge match between Cris Cyborg and Cat Zingano didn't make it out of the first round. Cyborg has been away from MMA competition for over a year and returned in the co-main event of Bellator 300 to demolish Cat Zingano in just over 4 minutes, retaining her featherweight title. Emotional after being stopped, Cat Zingano could be seen having a verbal altercation with Cyborg moments after their bout, and Cyborg later revealed what was said. "Usually, I really don't hate my opponents. I just said thank you to her for accepting the fight to fight each other. Then she said, I don't want to be your friend. She was saying something like I was a stalker, something like this. The reality is she started this. She started saying bad things about me, and then I don't know the reason. She tried to make this personal, and I don't have anything against Cat Zingano. I always promoted her the nice way. She's the girl who beat Amanda Nunes. She was the girl who beat Miesha Tate. She's a huge name in the sport. And I'm going to continue that. I'm not going to change what I think about her. It doesn't matter what happened tonight." Afterward, Cyborg tried to squash the long-standing beef with the challenger, but Zingano was having none of it. The fighter was very vocal about how she disliked the way the champion was behaving and bullying her on the internet prior to their fight. "I just thought it was weird, and what is that, like a sociopath? Why are you constantly thinking about me? Why are you constantly messing with me? It's weird, because I want to beat the shit out of her the second I see her, which I don't want to get in trouble. The other one is how cringy and creepy and stalker-wise she is. It makes me think about a restraining order. What do you do about somebody like that?" Cyborg eventually went on her way, delivered her post-fight victory speech and called out Leah McCourt, who defeated veteran Sarah McMahon earlier that night and was brought into the cage for a stare-down with the champion. In the third championship bout of the night, former training partners Liz Carmouche and Ilima-Lei Macfarlane put their friendship to the side and fought for the women's flyweight title. But only Carmouche was eligible to walk out the champion after the challenger missed weight for this bout. It was a rather cautious approach from both ladies, who vowed that their friendship wouldn't get in the way of their performances. The fighters were on their feet for most of the bout, with Carmouche enjoying the most success in that department, finishing Macfarlane with hard leg kicks to the point that she could barely walk. 5 of the 6 Bellator 300 main card participants earned a disclosed payout of $150,000, with Cris Cyborg earning twice that amount. All 6 fighters earned a flat amount as opposed to being paid show money and win money. Usman Nurmagomedov, Brent Primus, Cat Zingano, Liz Carmouche and Ilima-Lei Macfarlane each took home $150,000, while women's featherweight champ Cyborg earned $300,000. If you like the content, please make sure to like and subscribe so you can get the latest news in UFC and other MMA promotions. Thanks for watching.